Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Friday morning after Christmas. I hope everyone who celebrates had a good Christmas, and the rest of you, I hope you're enjoying the holidays. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. There we go. To this Friday morning after Christmas. I don't know why it does that every time, but I guess I have to just remember to turn it silence it. So, good mornings. Today, we're going to be finishing up our project from last week. And if this is the first time you're catching us, we are in the month of December. We are doing renew and reuse and kind of recapping on some of the things that we've done over the year. And last Friday, we did a project where we actually used toilet tissue as a as a modeling paste to create a piece of art, and we're continuing that today. The what I was working on is a vase of flowers, and I built up my flowers with the toilet tissue, the tissue modeling paste. You can use anything you have that can work like that. Like you can use paper towels and just regular tissue. You could even use wrapping paper tissue. So if you had gifts during the season, you may have a bunch of tissue lying around. You can use that as well. Terry, do you want to recap what you were doing? What you're working
Well,
with?
I was doing a little bit of the same thing. I was exploring Laurie's textures, but I was also exploring putting some texture down with something that they call veneer. It's actually real wood, but it's very thin, and I had some very fine pieces of wood veneer that I did from another project. So I started them, and now I'm going to work at shaping them more into trees and finishing off this painting. So
Oh,
again, alternative stuff.
okay, awesome. So I'm going to point my camera down,
So will I.
and we can pick back up where we left off last week. So we have 30 minutes today. Let's see what we can get done in this time frame. This is a fun project and kind of a nice, relaxing way to kind of wrap up the year, um, I think.
Yes, I think so too. And I'm going to, kind of glitz my place. I'm thinking more of an autumny scene here. There's not a lot of leaves on the tree. So I'm going to play with some colors with that. And I think I'm going to also play with some glitzy colors. I have this
Sure.
iridescent copper fine. I think that might be fun to use in the thin trees or the tree foliage I made and the bushy stuff I made. So I'm going to start just using a little bit of, instead of traditional acrylics, I'm going to use a little bit of this fluid acrylics because I think that that might actually work a little better for what I'm trying to do.
And I have some Liquitex basic paints, and I'm just going to just start painting my flowers. And I've got an orange and yellow down up right now, so I think I'm going to do orange kind of and then come over the top with the yellow so I give it some depth.
Well, and I'm putting the copper down first, and then I'm going to put some other stuff. I want the copper to peek through as a little bit of, um, we'll see how it works. It's always one of the things I love is to just sit here and see how it works. We're not
Right,
quite sure
explore.
what everything's going to be or where I'm going to go with everything, but we'll just see how it works.
Right, see how it flows.
Right. So. I also used a little bit of thread in here, kind of a hemp thread that I really like. So I'm gonna kind of play a little bit with making that more coppery looking too.
Oh,
And
that's
I
fun.
and I may put more of that in kind of as branches. I haven't quite decided yet. I'm just starting my exploration. And I may end up using, I really like this vivid red orange. It's a Liquitex basics that's very, it says it's semi-transparent, but I find that it can be very transparent if used kind of lightly. So I'm going to use a little bit of that too, I think. And I'm thinking the last remnants of fall for what I'm painting here. So,
Yeah, because we're getting into winter months and then spring again.
yay!
Yay!
Well, for the winter months, I mean, what I tend to do for the winter months is I tend to almost retreat a bit, but I also explore.
Right.
So I'd like to work with like a little more self-retreat meditative work in January, and also exploring things that I always explore something that I haven't done or I haven't done in a way that really super so that's my January. It always happens in January that I do that. A couple Januaries ago, I went really large, and I may do that again because I'm going to go really, really large this January with a project I'm doing with collage that's going to be 24 by 36.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. I gotta figure out how we're gonna do how I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do
Well,
the camera live at all, Terry?
I think we are. I'm just trying to figure out how.
Oh, that's gonna
Um,
be fun. I have to alter my setup.
I know. I'm just like, I'm not quite sure exactly how it's going to work, but I'm, I'm thinking of, you know, also talking about preparations of being large and also a little bit about going really tiny.
Mm-hmm.
I think that sometimes we get stuck in sizes.
Right. Yeah. Well, I tend to work a lot in the really small because I'm usually trying to fit in the camera, you know?
Yeah, well, and that's what happens with me too. I remember when I did remember I did a really large one for the Alcohol Inc. community, and it
Yes.
was such a challenge to film it. So, but I think that there are other ways of doing things. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna figure it out.
Right.
Just I so
We do
that's
a
my
lot of that figuring it out stuff.
I know. Well, and that's my project for next week is to totally figure it out. I
Oh,
have
good.
it.
Well, when you figure it out, let me know.
Well, I think I better. Right, because like next Friday's coming up pretty soon, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my heavens, yes. But no, I think it's gonna be really fun and also a little challenging to some of us that have never been, you know, never painted a little larger.
So let me just ask you so I can prep too while we're talking and get and everyone listening can prep as well. Are you thinking maybe we would do collage like gel printing collage or any kind of collage or
Well, I'm thinking we're doing collage, and I'm
okay.
thinking that gel plating printing is really a good way of doing collage, but it doesn't have to be the only way to do collage.
Okay. All right.
So one of the things that I'm thinking of doing is because we have people that don't do
Gel
gel
plating. I know.
plating.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk a little bit again about making other kind of papers for collage,
Oh, I think that would
and
be fun.
and so I think that that's going to be interesting. I know years ago we did I think we did the balloon,
Oh,
using the
yeah, that was
balloon.
fun.
And that was so much fun and it made such interesting textures. And we did cover this year a little bit doing the rolling on the tissue paper of the marbles,
Hmm.
but there are so many ways of making interesting patterned papers. And one of the things that I realize for me when I'm working with collage large, that it's the patterns that matter. There
Yeah.
that it is kind of you've got some like freedom in the patterns. Wow, this is
Yeah.
getting very interesting. So I am, so that's, somewhat what I'm thinking about. I'm not 100% sold on anything yet, but I've got Sunday and Monday to just dive in, and that is my plan to do some super diving and having some me time and just relaxing into it.
Yeah, that sounds really nice.
And I know, I know you're jealous. I can hear it. I know it's so hard sometimes. I know with you, you have so much going on.
Yeah.
Oh, my sister, I'm gonna have to go to voicemail. She's trying to wish me happy whatever, but I'm like, honey, you missed yesterday, and today is not the time.
Yeah.
So, so
Just always so busy. Like this year, we're spreading it out over the whole weekend. So,
yeah,
but
I
the weather's not cooperating so great.
well, and I have of all times, of course, it is the highest season right now here, and we have like two high seasons. We we have fall when everybody comes to look for the at the leaves. Well,
Right.
unfortunately, this fall just really sucked because nobody came looking at the leaves because they didn't know what was open and what wasn't, whether
Yeah, yeah.
it was very, very challenging. And then we have this one week around Christmas. And I'm not in my studio today because I knew that if I went in, I'd be disturbed all the time.
Right.
So I am in my studio at home. And
You going in later today?
oh, as soon as I get done from here, I've got to go in. So
Oh.
it's like, okay. So I'm just exploring again more texture. I wanted to explore the texture on top of the texture here of this wood, and I'm putting in a piece of tissue paper here it's a napkin. So it has some like branches, and it's kind of see-through. And I'm trying to do the back of it first, so I find that it becomes more see-through if you do the back first with the um, matte medium.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, find it becomes the most see-through if you use gloss medium, but I'm somewhere
Right.
along the line, I have my matte medium sitting here instead of the gloss medium. But so all I'm doing is tearing little pieces off. This is my kind of little bird one here, but in the corners that I don't use, there's some really pretty textures happening. So, and there's a few words. So I'm just kind of using this for another layer of texture.
Well,
And
that's neat. Yeah, that's cool.
so I'm even going to like pull this out as if there was another something over there and to see what happens if I put it over a little bit of my tissue paper or my toilet paper stuff. So we have toilet paper and napkins now here. And color and wood and whatever.
All right, so I've painted my flowers. I'm gonna come back and add some depth soon, but I'm gonna let what's there dry. If you notice, I use like for the pink here, I put
Ooh.
quinacridone magenta down and then come around with a lighter magenta.
Mhm.
It doesn't have the dimension yet the way I want, but I need to let it dry because then I'm going to come and add some white highlights which will show the texture more and also make it look more like flowers than just
Mhm.
blobs of paint. But I can't do that until it dries, so I'm going to come down and work and add some interest to my vase while that's happening.
Well, and I'm just going down in a couple of these pieces, just haven't quite worked where how I wanted them to where I put them. So I'm gonna put a little bit more um, texture down on the bottom. Whoops. So I'm gonna just add more by just adding some of these little, it's very, to me, this is almost like foggy looking in places, and it's got just lots of different stuff happening. So right now, I'm using the little teeny pieces of tissue paper again, like you did, but they're thinner, but they're still more texture on the whole piece. So let's waste not, want not, right?
Yep.
And
I also need to come in and add some of the greenery more than I have to make it so I can have a little fun with that here. I'm just going to put a little bit of this lighter blue down on this face here.
I think I need a little bit more of the copper in places that is just kind of almost hidden back here.
And also I realized too, I don't have like, should have let me just take one of I got some new Stabilo pencils today for Christmas, so
Ooh,
and have brought some of those out. Draw myself a little edge here so I can differentiate between the table that they're sitting on and the background. That'll help.
ooh, that'll be nice. I'm playing with a little bit of more of this copper to give some shine to a little bit of these trees. And then I was thinking of grabbing the Stabilos in a second too. And I
Oh,
need
this,
to figure out something in this edge. I need some more beauty. So I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do.
I should bring out the full on woodies for this.
Yeah, you could. You got so much that you could do with that.
Yeah.
Looking at all of these pieces. That's the other thing that when I do stuff like this, that sometimes happens is I just start looking at all these pieces of paper and then I get lost on looking at all the pieces of paper.
I
There's
know.
so many cool little pieces that I've saved from other projects. And then all of my art tends to connect. I was looking at it. Actually, I was talking to somebody. Um, I was talking to somebody the other day at the gallery, and they were talking about my art and saying, well, you do so many different things. And I said, yes, but they all tend to connect in one way or another.
Exactly. They kind of merge.
Right.
I've been playing around with like pulling in the alcohol inks with some of this stuff too.
Yes.
And my
Yeah.
woodies are downstairs, so I'm stuck with my Stabilos here for what I'm doing, which is fine.
Oh, well.
Oh well.
The Woodies are the bigger
Yeah,
Stabilos.
they're the same thing,
They're the
only bigger.
same thing, only bigger. Right.
Yeah.
So well, wait a second. That's kind of cool on that side too. Don't you hate when you can't decide which side's the cooler one? I have stuff on both sides of this one.
If I can do this with a bigger brush.
And as far as the use what you have, I also really do like just kind of making my paper just become whatever
Right.
by just putting another layer on it. Why not? Why not put another layer?
Exactly. All right.
Okay, well,
Let's
I'm
put
liking this little fall apart thing happening here
paint
too.
myself some
And
stems and leaves and things like that while this is all drying.
I'm really tempted. I've got this leaf here, and I'm really tempted to try to put it in. It I had dried it with glycerin,
Uh-huh.
See this? I
Yeah.
dried it with glycerin and then I used alcohol inks on it for something.
Oh, wow, that's looking really cool, Terry.
Isn't it looking really cool? But I'm just thinking, what happens if I just put this glycerin dried alcohol inked? Well, why not? Let's just see what
Right,
happens.
why not? Do it.
This is this is just an experiment. Okay, so now I need to find more serious. There it is. More serious. This really thin stuff is not gonna do with this. So I'm gonna have to find some more serious. This is the heavier matte medium. But what I think I'm gonna do, let's see, do I really need you here? Probably not. See what happens if I take this. I mean, I just like the way it's just kind of has the darks and the lights all in it, and the glycerin's already on it, and so it's already been kind of preserved.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think if I put a big enough, so I'm thinking that this is going to kind of anchor this corner a little bit. We'll see. Ooh, that's fun. That is kind of way fun. It brings you in a little bit, and I still have that. Okay, how do I get that? This side it wants to go down. Okay, now I'm making a lovely mess, but I also have
You'll fix it.
this. I love it. I'm not, I'm not, I'm not
You're
upset.
not sad.
I'm not sad about my lovely mess. I may go over and get more. I have, I have this. So what I did, I think I talked about it last week, is what I did is I took some of these green pieces when they were still green. I took these and I soaked them in glycerin and water. Glycerin being partly what the the whatchamacallits are made of. And so I soaked them in glycerin and water, and then I placed them, and then I dried them. And here I am using them. I'm going to try to see what happens if I put them, use these so it's very fibrous and it's kind of, it's all dried, but it's dried a dark, a greener color, a interesting green color. But it's very fibrous. When I mess up, it decides to bring some fiber up off of it. But all I see is yours, Laurie. I don't see mine very good.
Really?
Yeah.
I they're both on the screen. I think it may
Okay.
be the way you have your gallery settings.
Oh, okay. So I need to look in my gallery settings. Oh, I had it on speaker. There I go. But that's kind of cool what's happened here now.
That is cool. And I love the way you put that leaf in there. It's like,
Well, I've got 3 leaves in here.
I know that's so cool.
I'm going to put this little leaf in too, just kind of coming up here, but I only want the little leaves. I don't want the stick. I just want the little leaves, just acting as if, there we go. They're growing up and out into all of this. I like the stick in that one, and but they're almost transparent. I don't know if you can see that they're very dry. I don't know if you guys can
No, no, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, they're almost transparent, but once they go down, they're much more. Ooh, this is fun. This is too much fun again, too much fun.
Yeah, it is fun. I'm just loving it. We're getting close to time too already.
Already? Oh no. Well, and I am actually getting close to the time that I probably need to let it dry enough because I don't know. I think it's too wet for me to use the Stabilos on it. And that's my next.
Yeah, you gotta have it dry.
And I
Unless you're
know,
going for that. Unless you're going for that smeary sort of effect.
well, I could go for smeary on some of it, but not all of it. And
Yeah.
and this, yeah, and I also have to let the.
Well, we can share the rest of it in the group. So
Oh,
anybody,
yours is looking so lovely, Laurie.
thank you. I got a lot of work to do still on it, but I'm enjoying it. This one's fun.
This one's fun too. And look at all of the different textures. Let me see if I can pull this down a little farther on my screen, just a little bit. Maybe pull it in so you can see all of the very cool textures. And I'm fairly
Sure,
certain,
I'll highlight you so we can see.
yeah, I'm fairly certain that the
There you
the
go. Oh, wow.
the white is going to go away and this
Mm-hmm.
dark forefront is kind of, and then you go back into this gold and or
Right.
into the copper. Now what I'll probably do after this dries is add a little copper. So I got to bring some of this copper down through here, and it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of in here but it didn't really, you don't really see it. So I think that what I will do is end up putting some more copper down in the foreground, but it really looks very interesting. It's
Yeah,
like
totally. It does. It does.
it's got so much character in it. So we'll see what happens when it dries because I'm fairly certain this is going to dry much. I mean,
Well,
it should dry clear.
I think that I will probably turn on my camera and video the rest of my process, and share it on the website. So I think
Okay.
that our patrons will be able to go to the website and see, the process I used to finish for the finish, and I'll share the actual finished one on the group in Facebook. So anybody can join the group in Facebook, Explore Mixed Media. Just go to Facebook and search for that. And we hope you consider joining us in 2026 as a patron. So we do this every Friday morning, 11 a.m. here on YouTube, but we also have a private painting session um and a project every month. So we hope you'll join us there for that. Thanks,
Okay.
Carrie. Enjoy your weekend.
I am going to enjoy my weekend and I'm going to enjoy Sunday and Monday when I get to deep dive into more of this stuff. I will try to do mine tonight too and post the finished piece.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye
Bye.
bye.